After a phone call to Edmonton earlier in the day, I found out that the option of getting tickets to the New Jersey Oiler game was laughable and that scalpers were having a field day selling for this particular matchup. There's a good reason. Both teams are very good.
Yeah, it's been since 1980 since teams with these long of unbeaten streaks met up. I'm with stupid. Yeah, you are stupid if you go into the Skyreach Center painting your face with the opposite team's colors. And the Oilers off to a great start. They're up 2-0. Todd Marchand to Mike Greer. He scores. 3-0 Oilers at that point. They led it 3-1 after 2 periods. In the third, Colin White. He'll take the shot. He'll be stopped. Peter Sikora, look at that heads-up play. He finds Patrick Eliash in the slot. His 30th of the season. There's Kurt, there's Richie, there's Darryl, and they're enjoying a nice St. Patrick's Day beverage. Way to go, guys. Way to go, Oilers. Comrie to Pody. There's a dandy goal. 4-2 Edmonton. They're in charge, but Devils don't give up. They're on the power play. McGillney down low. Look at this pass. You got the great view of it. McGillney to Randy McKay. He stuffs it in. That's a big league goal. It's 4-3. Then Bobby Holik. He'll pick up the loose puck in the corner. He'll look in front. Jason Smith shoots it into his own goal. Again, as Smith scores on his own goal. Jason not happy, but we're tied at 4. Oilers rally. Todd Marchand in alone. He scores. 5-4 for the Oilers. But wait, Devils aren't done. Peter Sikora, look at the patience. Holds, shoots, and the rebound's a gift to Eliash. He makes no mistake. It's tied at 5. After the goal, watch Ulanoff in front of his net. Takes a swing at number 11, John Madden. That's a 5-minute match penalty for intent to injure. Selfish penalty, a frustration penalty. On that power play in overtime, Jason Arnott deflects in the stick. It goes off the crossbar. Oilers get a chance. Wait the Pody. He's in, but Brodeur, what a great pad save. 8 seconds left. Greer can't get it out. He has an opportunity. It's kept in by Eliash. Top of the circle. Oh, low shot. Gets by Tommy Salo. Eliash, the hero with the hat trick. New Jersey wins it 6-5. What a hockey game. Patrick Eliash picks up his second hat trick of the season. The Oilers' 10-game unbeaten streak is toast. The Devils have won 10 in a row. Tommy Salo, a busy man with 34 saves. Brodeur at 29 stops. The Rangers taking on the Flyers in Philadelphia. Mark Messier trying to get his troops pumped up against Bill Barber's squad. But it's 1-0 when Judy Hall makes a nifty little pass to Kent Manderville. That's his third. We're tied at 1. Here come the Flyers again. It's a 2-on-1. Dean McCammon. He tries to get one pass through. The second one works. And Keith Primo can't beat. Guy Bear makes a nice stack to pad save. Second period, Rich Pilon will trip Paul Ranheim. And that's 2 minutes for tripping, you betcha. On that power play, Mark Recchi to Dan McGillis, a bad angle shot. You gotta shoot, you never know. Goes off Kim Janssen, 2-1 Flyers, and that for Mr. Pilon is a long skate back to the bench. There's a chance for Mark Messier, but Roman checkmatic. Yeah, that's checkmate. That means game's over. Philly wins it 2-1. Guy Bear, now he wound up hurting his groin in this game and did not play in the third for the Rangers. He was replaced by Kirk McLean. For Messier, he played in his 1,549th game, one more than Alex Del Vecchio for 4th on the all-time list.
It's a real bummer when you hurt your groin. Donald Audette and the Buffalo Sabres taking on Washington. He's working a line with Stu Barnes and J.P. Dumont. Speaking of Stu Barnes, as Rick Jenneret would say, he gets his 18th. It's a 1-0 Sabres lead. The Capitals, you hear it, goalless in 7 periods, but here they come on a power play. Washington assaulting the goal, scramble in front, loose puck, number 12. Do it. Yeah, that's Peter Bondra. Is he happy? Yes. His 42nd of the year ties things at 1. The Capitals are down 2-1, but this is a big-time blast for Mr. Bondra. Ties things at 2 after 2. We go to the third. Bondra again stoned by Mr. Barron, and that shot went off his noodle, if you can believe it, on a power play. Chris Gratton scores. Midway through the third, and that turns out to be the GWG as Buffalo wins 3-2. They sit alone in 5th in the East with 84 points. Washington has lost 3 in a row, all of them at home.
Dave Scatchard and Bill McCult scored third-period goals as the Islanders rallied to tie Columbus 3-3. Chris Guerreri made 29 saves for the Islanders, who are unbeaten in their last 3 road games.
Shortly after they had their rears kicked by St. Francis Xavier, Jacques Paymont, the coach of Laval, said, quote, "The X-Men are a hell of a team, defending national champions, and they played as such." The top-ranked team at the CIAU's Final 8 has reeled off 27 straight victories. A 28th over McMaster gets them a return trip to the final. Will it happen? Number 1 ranked St. FX against 5th seed McMaster. Randy Knorr roaming the floor, driving the lane and hitting the circus shot. Whoa! St. FX up by 11 at the halftime. In the second, it's Knorr throwing it up for Fred Perry. Fred Perry, misidentified a year ago after the championship game. He throws it down at St. FX by 7. Mac answers this way. Graham Hewitt takes the lob, puts it home. McMaster trailing by 1. Fast forward, Mac now leading by 1. They're saying prayers. Why? Seconds to go, they want to hang on to the lead, but Knorr says no. Hits the jumper, and St. FX wins 78-76. They're off to the final. Who will they play?
Well, in the other semifinal, Brandon taking on Western. That's Ernest Bell trying to get his team back to the final where they lost to St. FX last year. But here's Western, Cheeto Endor with the steal, the layup. What a great first half for Western. They led it 34-24, but Brandon comes back. Chris Passley, that's 3. Part of an 11-2 run, cuts the Western lead to 2. 35 seconds to go. Watch Charlton Weaselhead. What a tremendous steal. He has a chance to lay it in. He does exactly that. He gets the harm as well. Brandon by 1. That was their first lead since very early on. In fact, the score was 3-2 the last time Brandon led. Last-ditch effort for Western. Mark Port misses. Brandon wins it 77-76. What an amazing couple of semifinal games we had. So number 1, St. Francis Xavier, the defending champion, takes on number 3, Brandon, in the final on Sunday. Carleton, they will meet St. Mary's in the consolation final. But if these semis are any indication, we've got a great final coming up. The Jays are using spring training to determine what their starting rotation will look like. Without an obvious number 1 guy, hopes were that someone would step up. Chris Carpenter has logged the most innings, 15 of them, posting a respectable 3.6 earned run average. Esteban Loaiza had only thrown 6 innings coming into today's start against the Yankees, but he almost doubled that in what turned out to be a decent outing for the right-hander. Wasn't a decent start for him, but Mike Sorotka trying to get his season started. He's rehab program, he's just doing some light tossing, not off the mound as of yet though. Top of the first, very first batter, Loaiza faces. My goodness, it's Alfonso Soriano, one of the great young players in the game. And he takes him over the center field wall, solo shot. 1-0 Yanks. Top of 4, more tater trouble for Loaiza. William Pena goes the other side of center field. Another solo shot. 2-1 for the Yankees. Top of 6, tied at 2. Here comes Kelvin Escobar. Watch him work. There's a BB to Scott Brocious. William Pena, how do you like that? Sit down, my friend. And then he freezes Eric Almonte, striking out the side. Bottom of 7, Brian Boehringer on for the Yanks. It's Alberto Castillo, the light-hitting catcher, going the other way. Jays wind up winning it 4-2. Loaiza went 5 innings, allowing 6 hits and striking out 4.
An opposite field home.
Hey, Dad, want to have a catch? I watched Field of Dreams today. It's the Expos and the Cards. Urbina catches McGuire looking. He had 2 strikeouts, did Urbina. In the 8th, it's a 1-0 Cardinal lead. J.D. Drew with a grounder. 5-4-3 is not enough. Won't get the double play. Kerry Robinson scores. It's 2-0 now for St. Louis. In the 9th, 3-1 for the Cardinals. Jose Rodriguez says, I'd better get going. Alicia's going to start thinking I got a girlfriend. As he sets down Milton Bradley, and the Cardinals win it 3-1. That's Burt Lancaster in that role.
Oh, wow.
He was sensational.
You remember
so was Dustin Hermanson, who scattered 6 hits and 3 walks for St. Louis. Remember, he was dealt to the Cardinals along with Steve Klein for Fernando Tatis and Britt Rames. Javier Vasquez gave up only 1 hit and struck out 4. The Expos played a night game against the Metropolitans and lost 6-4, as you can see. There is much to discuss, maybe some movies. Perhaps we'll yak about good baseball movies. But then again, maybe not. It's difficult to say, really. When we come back, we go to the NCAA and check in on the NBA, see how the Bucks did against the Sixers. Oh, we're having fun on Sports Central Prime Time. It's number 9 Missouri against number 1 Duke. Quinn Snyder meets his former coach, Mike Krzyzewski. First half off the miss, and there is Reggie Love feeling it. He gets the flush part of an 18-3 run. It's the Blue Devils by 9. Kareem Rush for 3. Looks good on Missouri. Mr. Rush Another three. He had 29 points. The Tigers, though, trail by 6 at the half. In the second half, Jason Williams, what a game. One of his 5 threes, he had 31, and Duke wins 94-81. The top seed Blue Devils advanced to the round of 16 for the 12th time since 1986. UCLA beat Utah State, even though Steve Lavin benched 2 starters for skipping study hall. Said Lavin, quote, "I promise parents when I recruit kids that they will be held accountable."
Well, how about Henry Bibby and the USC Trojans, the 6th-ranked team, taking on Boston College, the 3rd-ranked team. In the first, Sam Clancy, baseline spin, big finish. Trojans led it by 4 at the break. In the second, BC's Troy Bell. That's a long triple. It's good. Eagles within 6. Then Bell, waiting, slashing to the hoop, going for the lay-in. You betcha. He gets it. 32 for Bell on the night. USC leading by 1. Dying seconds. BC down by 3. But for some reason, Kenny Harley doesn't go for the 3. He doesn't make the 2 either. USC wins it 74-71. USC had 27 turnovers, but Boston College shot just 30%. The bottom line in this one was USC was bigger and owned the boards with a 41-28 advantage. And Kentucky beat Iowa 92-79. Tayshaun Prince led the way for the number 2 seeds with 31 points.
Number 11, Georgia State against number 3, Maryland. There's Gary Williams, the Maryland coach. Lefty Drizel is the current Georgia State coach, former Maryland coach. Is it confusing? Don't let it be. Juan Dixon off the glass, and then he'd get a foul to boot. The Terrapins by 6, and then Shenard Long going a long way, jumping very high and putting together a jam. It's the Panthers, though, down by 4 at the half. Danny Miller in the second. Ooh, tough lay-in, gets the foul as well. It's Maryland by 10, and then Terrence Morris with a jam. Maryland wins 79-60. The Terps move on to the Sweet 16 for the 3rd year in a row and 5th time in 7 years. Georgetown is into the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1996. They'll face Maryland on Thursday in Anaheim.
Number 1, Stanford against number 9, St. Joe's in the second half. Stanford in white. Teo Johnson, born in 12 BC, he nails the 3. Stanford led by as many as 14. Jameer Nelson finds Marvin O'Connor here. That's for 3. What's going on? St. Joe's within 1. O'Connor, a career-high 37 points. Great game for it. St. Joe's on a 21-6 run, capped by Scarborough, Ontario's Damian Reed. The hoop, the harm. St. Joe's leading by 5. Stanford has closed the gap to 1. Outlet to Casey Jacobson. He's alone. He finishes with the jam. They regain the lead. Stanford up by 2. Julius Barnes, what a great time for a steal. He'll go in alone. He will slam it in style. Stanford gets a scare, but the number 1 seeds hold on to advance to the round of 16 with a 90-83 victory. And Cincinnati, not too many problems with Kent State, winning 66-43. For Cincinnati, they advance to the Sweet 16 for the 2nd time in 7 years. And the other 8 teams to advance to the round of 16 will be decided tomorrow, and Sportsnet is the place to be for it. The 2 busiest guys in TV, Brad Fay and Jack Armstrong, will have all the action.
Sportscentral's 2001 NCAA Tournament Report, brought to you by Pontiac, built for drivers.
Here's where the college guys want to go. The NBA, Steve Nash and the Dallas Mavericks against Phoenix. Nash to Juwan Howard for the jam. Dallas with a 13-point lead at the half. Nash in the 3rd, can't get it to go. In transition, here's Mario Elie with the jam. It's a 2-hander, and the Suns are down by 18, though, after 3 quarters. To the 4th. Michael Finley backs it up, turnaround, and hits the jumper. He had 20. The Mavericks win 109-99. Nowitzki, Nash, and Finley accounting for 82 of Dallas's 109 points. The Mavericks never trailed in this game. Houston, a winner. Steve Francis scoring 30 as the Rockets end an 11-game losing streak to the Spurs.
2 top teams in the East. Philly visiting Milwaukee. Sam Cassell out with a hip pointer, but Allen Iverson back in Philly's lineup after being out with a sore hip. First to Taron Makita, George Lynch, big flash. Sixers start the game on a 14-2 run. Philly up by a half dozen after 1 in the second. Here come the Bucks. Tim Thomas, give and go. He gets the finish. Bucks trailing by a deuce at the break. The third quarter, Ray Allen from outside the arc. Counted for 3. Bucks up by 5 after 3 quarters. In the fourth, Allen looking for another tray. This time he's not so lucky, but he's got great players like Tim Thomas cleaning up for him. Milwaukee beats Philadelphia 87-78. Coach Larry Brown did not coach due to unknown medical reasons. Ray Allen leading the way with 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists. In Charlotte, downs Washington 95-93. P.J. Brown scored a season-high 22. Eldon Campbell added 18 as Charlotte rallied for the victory. Still to come on Primetime Sports Central. Stick around. We will go to Indian Wells, the Tennis Masters Series, the final. The women, Serena Williams against Kim Clijsters. We'll tell you who wins coming up. In tonight's Volkswagen Powerball, we asked you, who do you think should win the Vezina Trophy? And here's what you think. The options we gave you, you think Tommy Salo, he's been great for the Edmonton Oilers recently. Check Manic with 23%. Patrick Roy, actually pretty close. Salo edging out the competition. Thanks for taking part.
Serena Williams against Kim Clijsters in the final of the Masters Series at Indian Wells. There's Venus and Richard Williams. They were booed when they entered. We'll explain it very shortly. First set, Clijsters with the short forehand. Into the net it goes by Williams. Clijsters taking the first set 4-6. Second set, Serena pounds the Clijsters serve to go up a break. Richard likes that apparently. Up 5-4 in the second. Serena takes the second 6-4. Match point. And there's the winner. 4-6, 6-4. 6-2, and she was booed. The whole Williams family was booed while exiting.
On the men's side of things, the final set to go tomorrow in today's semis. Number 3 seed Pete Sampras beat Yevgeny Kafelnikov in straight sets, while Andre Agassi, the 4th seed, needed 3 sets to get by Leighton Hewitt, so Sampras will take on Agassi in tomorrow's final.
We'll explain that booing very shortly. First, from Robert Lang to Denny Lambert, from Denny Gauthier to Adam Mayer. The rest of the story is a wealth of names. Here are the scores from this evening's games. Why, RJ, were the fans at Indian Wells booing Richard Williams and his daughter Venus?
Well, and they were booing Serena as well, but there's rumors going around the tour, the tennis tour, that Richard Williams tells the girls, Venus and Serena, when they have head-to-head matchups, who's going to win. Now, rumor is he decides who's playing better in the tournament and says that that person will win and the other one has to forfeit. In the semifinals, Venus, just minutes before her match that she was supposed to play against Serena, she pulled out with a leg injury. So that's why they were booed. So basically, Serena had a bye to the final to take on 17-year-old Kim Clijsters, and poor Kim Clijsters, not much of a chance against a well-rested Serena Williams. So that's what the problem is.
I'm going to make a decision that one of us says goodbye, and it's going to be me. Thanks for watching.
Announcer clothing provided by Cambridge. Available at Joseph's Menswear.